welcome back to Seen Abounds Live. Today we're going to be talking all of the things social media and websites with the wonderful Lyndon Price from Pseudo Media. Lyndon, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. It's great to have you back in the studio,
It's
mate.
lovely to be back.
It is. Right, so we're going to talk all of things social media, which I think is a minefield.
Yeah.
And websites.
Yes.
So let's talk about the relationship first between the two, right? There are businesses out there. Actually, this is a question I haven't prepared for this. Okay, so this show, by the way, we decided to put together literally 10 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
So there's no preparation. We're just banging it out. Now, do we, as a business, as a small business, okay, is it impeccable to have a website?
100%. I think in this world where people are still going mad for social media, the website is still the place where lots of people will go and go first. And it's almost like a way of sort of seeing out where you are, that people will go out, they'll have a look for your socials, they'll have a look through all your other sort of social media platforms, and then eventually they'll come to your website because they'll want more information.
Yeah.
And it's where you'll put most of your information.
Yeah, because obviously, I mean, I know companies that say, "Oh no, but I don't use the website. I've got Facebook." But for me, that doesn't shout professionalism.
No. And the biggest problem that most small businesses have is that they're not updating their website. They set up a website when they started off. The information on there is exactly the same as it was, and they carry on doing all their day-to-day things on their social media and forget about their websites.
Because that's actually something else I want to talk about. Because when you're looking at how Google works and how SEO works, and all of these sciences that sit behind it, okay, you don't have to be a genius to get this stuff to work, right?
Yeah.
You just have to be updating regularly.
Absolutely. I mean, Google is looking all the time to see if you're updating the information. And if you haven't updated it for a while, it's not going to come back and look for a while. And then eventually that gap will get longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
And then when you eventually do get around to updating it, it could take a long time for Google to actually come and see what's going on.
And this can be done by adding blogs.
Easily.
And updating blogs.
Yeah. It's all really easy stuff. Just adding a few bits and pieces on every week, every month will make that difference. It's getting content out there.
Now, when we're talking about blogs and we're talking about content, I know that you do as Pseudo Media now,
Yes.
right? Pseudo Media, like Seen Abounds, is a joint venture. Okay, there's two of you.
Yes.
All right. You also work with your dear wife,
Yes.
Catherine. Now, Catherine does blogs and content for people as well, doesn't she? As part of the package.
Absolutely. Catherine is a journalist, so she's an actual writer.
And very good one as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, she writes a lot of content for people, whether it's stories, articles, or blog work. It's all content that she loves it.
And then effectively, like I love blogging, right? Like on Seen Abounds, we get out at least 2-3 blogs a week. All right. Now you don't have to do that. It's not like, it's not impeccable to do it, but it does get your content up onto Google, up there a lot quicker. Gives you a bit more of a presence.
It's all about giving yourself some authority in life, and the more details and information you've got about yourself, what you do, and the area that you work in, the more of an authority you become on it, and then obviously from that, more business will come your way because you are an expert on something.
Well, we hope, don't we? We live in hope. So now let's talk about the relationship between social media and your website. So a lot of people post on social media for the sake of posting on social media. Okay. Now I don't know if we're going to debate this yet, Lyndon, right? But I'm going straight in. Okay. I don't think that's the way to do it. I don't like false engagement. Okay. So no point posting on your social media, questions like what color unicorn do you want, or what's your favorite chocolate, unless it is relative to what it is you do. So, like, we run a networking company, you run a social media company. So like I would put things around what is your best connection, or how do you tips around networking. You would be putting tips around social media, around blog writing, content writing. But the idea of social media is to effectively attract people to where you are, your shop window. It's that kind of roadmap, that direction, rather than just posting for the sake of posting. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's so easy to start putting pictures of your cat up and what you're eating for your tea and all those sort of things. And to be honest, you'll get your couple of your friends and your Auntie Jean will love it and like it and do all those sort of things. But is it professional?
Yeah.
And I think it waters down your product as well, because you're going to put up so much stuff that people do switch off from it after a while, and your name will appear on their list every day and they'll just flip straight past it.
So, which brings me actually on to the next question. The burning question is, I'm a massive believer in quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
I don't post for the sake of it, but when I do post something, I like it to be of qualitative relevance. I'm not sure if qualitative is a word, but I'll put it in there. All right, I'm dyslexic. I make up my own language. I have been my whole life. But I do like things to have relevance to what I'm talking about, and also have the quality level. And this is something that you specialize in.
No, absolutely. I mean, it has to be quality. If you look poor, you will have poor content, and it won't attract people. You need to have good quality products coming out.
So let's just say, okay, so we are actually clients of yours. We work with you quite closely with the journalist side of things, because we honestly understand the value of PR, right? We understand the value of getting the story out there. Now, social media, if done right, can be fantastic PR that you are effectively controlling, right?
Yes.
So how do you work with people? Because obviously, you'll probably know, I mean, networking is a fairly bog standard kind of industry. But let's just say I was working in a complete niche industry. Let's just say that I was a microbiologist, right? How do you then work with me to make sure that my content going out, which you will help develop and create, is of quality?
Everything depends on what you want to do. Some people are quite easy. I can't find my words. Some people are quite easy to let you take over their social medias completely.
Yeah.
Which is great, because then you can learn all about their industry, you can learn about how they are and what they are, and you can tailor your content around that.
Yeah.
So I find that a lot easier, because you're almost going in yourself and you can write it and you can write quality with it.
Yeah.
For other people that we have on board, they sort of do 50% of the content, and you sort of have to tidy it up, which is sometimes a little bit more difficult to achieve, because you're sort of polishing their words a little bit.
Yeah, this is why it would be no good for you to take. Like, if I was writing the content, honestly, it would take you longer to translate it than it would to just produce it.
Yeah.
Now, you do a lot. I know you do. Can we mention the wedding industry? Because you do a lot of work in that field at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
And so you know that industry really well.
Yes. I mean, I sort of live and breathe weddings for a sort of summer period, because there's always 2 or 3 weddings going on a week.
Yeah.
You sort of get to know how things work, and you get to learn about suppliers and all sorts of magical and wonderful things to do with weddings.
Wedding fairs.
You do get fed up of seeing brides in dresses after a while, but
yeah, I've seen 2 now. So let's hone in. So what would you say was good quality content? First off, actually, I'm going to come back on that question. What platforms? I do think that there's a level of speciality, right? And I had a conversation with Charlotte about this the other day. So we currently are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all right? A little bit on Twitter, but not that much. We tend to get a lot more off Twitter than what we put on. Yeah. Certainly around journal requests, which I know that you guys work on that bit as well. Charlotte really wants to get into TikTok. I don't really get it, so I'm just like, well, I'm not even sure if my customer base is in TikTok. And that is a thing, isn't it? It's about understanding your client base.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about understanding your clients, because some of your clients will be on Facebook, some of them are going to be on Instagram, some are going to be on TikTok. And not every industry works on TikTok. Not every industry works on Facebook. So it's all about understanding where your people are coming from.
I've learned this recently at a Google conference, actually. And this is what they were talking about. They were saying, look, it's especially with Google is concerned, it's actually almost more important to just specialize on set social media than it is to kind of just try and pebble dash.
It is, and I think too many people put too much pressure on themselves to satisfy 3 or 4 or 5 social media channels, and then come back and do a bit of Instagram and then do a bit of a blog. It's just too much pressure.
Yeah.
Specialize in 1, maybe 2.
Okay, awesome. And what social medias do you specialize on?
We sort of do a bit of Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of Twitter. Well, Catherine does a bit more Twitter because that's where lots of sort of journalist type characters hang out, and the media people see them hang out. We do delve into a bit of TikTok now and again, but those are the
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, Catherine does a lot more of than I do.
LinkedIn's more about articles, I think, and I think that's where Catherine comes into
it's
right?
more about the writing.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I look at it and I think, am I prepared to write a big article today? And I get distracted by something else and often do other work.
Yeah. Well, I actually, believe it or not, I actually love writing articles. And I turn them into blogs and I reutilize that.
Yeah.
So, which again is that relationship, right? So it's about putting the content on your site, quality content on your site, and then taking snippets from that content into other aspects. Yeah,
absolutely. It's all about sort of taking it, reinventing it, and pushing it to something else.
So this obviously you look after websites as well.
Yes.
So just give us a little bit of an insight. How do you then marry that relationship between what goes out on their website, so a blog or an article, and then reintegrate it onto different types of, because you can utilize one article for a week's worth of content, can't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like to take things and repurpose them ever so slightly. It's not a case of copying and pasting between all your channels and your website. It's all about cherry picking in some cases to pick out the key bits that will work on Facebook. Some bits look better on Instagram. You've got lots of lovely pictures to go with it.
Yeah.
And then doing some sort of précis then on the website, perhaps.
So this is actually this is a question that I wanted to really ask you, because I think that this is the fundamental mistake that most people make, right? People will put the same on Instagram that they'll put onto Facebook that they'll then put onto TikTok. Doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. You've got different audiences on different aspects. You put the same content up, but you've got to make it look different.
Yes.
So if I'm putting out a content on Facebook, so say I write a blog and I put my blog then as an article on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All right. Then I want people from Facebook to come and see the blog, because obviously it's a different way of doing it. So I would then put more of a paragraph base on it, and then on Instagram I put more imagery around what I'm doing with a smaller amount of content, and then if I was on TikTok, I'd put up a little bit of a video.
Yeah, I mean, I like to use Facebook as a bit of a tease to lead you off to somewhere else, and whether that is your website or whether it's something new on TikTok, tease it on one, get them to go to another.
Fantastic. Okay, so we are running out of time. So if you were going to give anybody a social media top tip, what would it be?
Always repurpose your content.
Yeah, why work more than once, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, Lyndon, so if someone did want to get in touch with you, obviously they can find you on the Cinema's platform, but where else can they find you?
We're on the website, which is sudol.co.uk. All our links to all our channels are on there.
Perfect. Wouldn't it have been better if you would have said, well, we don't have a website.
Yeah. Or Facebook.
Yeah, don't do any of that.
You could write us a letter.
You could write us a letter or send up a courier pigeon. Right, listen, it has been great chatting with Lyndon. Lyndon is a very dear friend of mine, and we do love working with you guys. So until next time, we will see you again soon.